Hello everyone, I'm Ehab Sayed and I'm the founder and director of innovation at BIOHM, just like Rob explained. And today I'll be talking about how nature can inspire us to revolutionize construction. But first, I'd like you all to sit back, relax, and take a deep breath. I want you all to imagine that you're an omnipresent being that can experience every event, circumstance, and situation that has occurred over the last 60 years. And take it in. What will your perception be of humanity? Would you see humans as a transcendent species that has rapidly evolved in the most extraordinary way, overcoming barriers to achieve advanced levels of intelligence, consciousness, and civilization? Or would you see a foolish species, willfully ignorant of its impact upon the world? Would you see a collection of beautiful and unique organisms with limitless capacity for compassion and empathy? Or would you see destructive levels of arrogance and greed in an animal that has forced its own path and forgotten its place in the order of nature? Forgotten its connection with the earth and its inhabitants? Forgotten the whole that we were only supposed to be a small part of? Have we created materials, processes, methods of governance and systems that are designed to deplete our planet of its precious resources? And will we really need another 2 worlds worth of resources in 30 years' time to maintain the lives that we have built and learned to love? Have we really exhausted over half of the Earth's precious resources to create our global built environments, which only form around 1% of the Earth's surface? Whilst doing that, we also contributed to over 50% of all carbon emissions. To build 1% of the Earth's surface. Really? Would you see us as one hand working towards a common goal, or just individuals scattered? Working towards personal gain and wealth. Would you see greed, pain and hunger, or beauty, compassion and love? Is it too late? Is this a lost cause? Or is there hope? Are we capable of cooperating with and learning from nature and how it managed to build the most sustainable, circular, elegant and efficient environments and systems, with the primary goal of regeneration and improved health? Well, the answer to that last one is yes. And there's a term for that. It's biomimetics. It's not the simple imitation of natural form, but rather the deep understanding of how biological systems and processes operate in order to help solve our problems that we're facing in our world. And we find that when we're relying more on nature as opposed to technology when solving problems, we're taking a much more information-led approach. And with all the data that we're collecting now, we can really do that. And we're being much more energy efficient, much more resource efficient, and relying much more, again, on information and structure. And that requires a certain level of systems thinking. I'm not sure how many of you here are familiar with complexity theory, but it's the idea of perceiving the world around us in systems that operate together and collaborate with one another and cooperate, which leads me to the idea of the circular economy. You've probably heard enough about the circular economy today, but it's basically a shift from a linear economy where we're extracting, making, using and disposing of products in a way that is very damaging for our environment and our health, and moving towards a more circular approach where we're reusing, recycling and ethically sourcing materials, making, using carbon efficient and resource and energy efficient processes, and then using by introducing servitization and things that can extend the lifetime of products as well as improve the value at every stage. And that's exactly what we do at BIOHM. BIOHM is a research and development-led company that places biological systems at the heart of its inspiration to create a healthier and more sustainable built environment. We do this through our bio-based materials, our construction systems, and a range of services and research. First material I'll talk about today is ORB, or Organic Refuse Biocompound, and it's a simple combination of agricultural or food waste mixed with an organic binder that we've developed. And we were able to achieve all sorts of visual as well as physical and mechanical properties depending on the waste sources that we're able to use. The idea behind this is we've developed a recipe that can be implemented anywhere in the world using our organic binder to make use of the huge amounts of agricultural waste and food waste, which is the fastest growing waste stream in Europe. And eventually, ORB will be developed into a plant-based concrete. We're in the very early stages of this, but we're about 2 years away from commercializing it. And ORB actually is currently available for use in bespoke projects as well as interior architecture. Mycelium is another material we're working with, and it's a wondrous organism. It's the vegetative part of a mushroom. And you're able to train this species to consume a variety of waste as it grows. We're harnessing the power of nature to create an insulation material made purely out of mushrooms and agricultural waste. You can see Zoe here completely obliterating our mycelium on a BBC documentary, and I think that's about 1,000 degrees of heat on it, and the ice cream's still not melted, and she ate it at the end, tasted good. And so you can see how much of an insulating barrier mycelium is able to create. But also, mycelium is currently being trained by our lead mycologists to consume synthetic waste like plastics and textiles to help solve other industries' problems as well. We're also working on a biologically self-assembling material, and this is a huge leap in manufacturing because it allows us to create products without any human intervention or machinery. You're simply training an organism to grow in a particular way. You give it boundaries using vibrations, and then you give it a feedstock, and it consumes that and grows into the material. Self-assembly is a huge aim for BIOHM, and is something that we really hope to get to within the next 10 years. But when introducing such radical technologies and ideas, you need to ensure their survival. And to ensure their survival, an appropriate ecosystem needs to be in place, much like in nature. And so we've developed an interlocking construction system known as triagamy, which allows buildings to be deconstructed at any stage of their life. No binders, no permanent fasteners, just the pure geometry of carbon molecules inspiring a construction system. You can learn more about it at our stand just at the back there. We've got a video and you can ask us all sorts of questions. But again, when introducing such radical technologies, you need to ensure the appropriate ecosystems in place. And so we've developed a whole new circular business model, which is bespoke to our process and our methods, and allows us to be able to be price competitive, as well as being completely and militantly sustainable and healthy for the well-being of the occupants as well. And we're working towards a biomimetic future which will not only be present in our buildings, but in our lives and the way we work, the way we think, and most importantly, the way we do business. A biomimetic future will help us reduce our time and costs. It will help us be more resource and energy efficient. It will have a huge positive impact on the environment if it's done the right way with systems thinking and takes into account a complex system approach. And most importantly, it will look after our health and well-being, because buildings should not only offer us shelter, but they should be conducive to our physiological and psychological well-being. And let's hope that that would allow us to be the species that has achieved the advanced levels of intelligence, consciousness, and civilization. Thank you very much.